7th grade, we're doing 5.4, writing and solving proportions. You should have completed your warm-up by now. I'm going to go check it. Alright, so we're going to be solving proportions by cross-multiplying and dividing. Woo, that was probably loud on the microphone. Alright, so we have 3 halves equals x over 8. We need to solve for x. So, for the first step, always write down the problem. This should be in your journals. Write down the problem. This is example 1. Okay? So, we're going to not do it the way they're telling me to do it.
I understand.
Because lame. We're going to do it my way.
Yay.
I got to move my face. Let me get my whiteboard. Why? I mean, you can do it that way. It's just mental math, but
I love mental.
these do get harder, so I want you to know how to solve it when it's more difficult. 3 over 2 equals x over 8. Write this in your journals.
Okay.
So they did mental math. They thought 2 times what equals 8?
4.
3 times 4 equals
12.
Okay, so on the small ones you can do mental math, but let me show you how to do it if it's not small numbers. So when it's a proportion and it tells you that it's equivalent with the equal sign, all you have to do is cross, multiply, and divide. So I'm going to say 8 times 3 and then divide it by 2. So 8 times 3, yep, divided by 2, which equals, okay, so either way we got 12. You can do mental math if you want, but I need you to understand how to cross, multiply, and divide because you will be using this on the bigger numbers. It was super easy. Okay, so go do your, I'll open that back up. Go do your try-its. Alright, 7th grade, let's see if they do this the way I do it. Again, we have 5/7 equals x over 21. Write it down. They're still doing it. Again, I don't. Let's not make it harder than it is, guys. Okay, hold on. Let's do math first. My marker's not working. Alright, 5/7 equals x over 21. Alright, what am I multiplying? 21 times 5, and then divide it by 7. 21 times 5,
15. Hey, 15.
and then divide by 7.
15.
So x equals 15. Yes, it does come out to be the same answer. It is. Well, they did it a different way, but I don't know why they're... It's just as easy to do cross, multiply, and divide. Why? Yeah, but... So here's why they want you to do it this way. They're showing you that if I have x divided by 21, see that over here?
Yes.
That's what that is. I can move the 21 over to the other side and just simplify it. So opposite of division is... So they multiplied 21 times 5/7 and got 15. So that's why they did it that way. But I still say cross, multiply, and divide. Alright? Okay, do your try-its. Alright, so we're going to solve each of these proportions.
Oh.
Write it in your journals. You get points for this. Okay, so cross, multiply, and divide. Boom, 5.6. Okay, so we did 8 times 10. Slow down. Not everybody's brains goes fast. 8 times 7, which was what? 8 times 7, which is 56. And then we divide by 10, which means you just move the decimal 1. That gives you 5.6. Okay, let's do B. What are we cross multiplying?
9 times 17.
9 times 17 is what?
153. 153.
And then
Divide by 3 is 51.
51.
Calm down. That was too much sugar left.
Okay, go do your try it's.
yeah.
Okay, don't. Let me get my whiteboard out. All right. So this is number 9. I'd put this in your journals because you will have lots of problems like this. So if I have 40 over z plus 1 equals 15 over 6. Okay, normally we cross multiply and divide, right? But because of this guy right here, we can't do it quite so simply. What we do is we cross multiply and set them equal to each other. So what is 40 times 6?
40 times 6 is 240.
40 times 6.
Is 240. Okay, and then on the other side, we're going to do 15 times z plus 1. Okay, so we distribute. And we get what?
15.
15 times z is 15z. 15 times 1 was just b plus 15.
I think you did.
Okay, so now we got to solve for z. So how do I get z by itself? Say it.
You divide or subtract.
First, we got to move the 15. So subtract 15. So what's 240 minus 15?
220.
No.
Yeah, I was going to say, I think it's 225. Okay, so then that cancels. I'm left with 15z. How do I get the z by itself? Divide by 15. So what's 225 divided by 15?
Yo, no chocolate left in your mouth. It's so
So z equals 15.
Wait, what?
yeah.
This is 1.
Yeah. And I gave you 16 and you did that.
Oh.
There's no easy way.
It will not always work like that.
There's 6 examples.
Yes, that's why we need to keep cruising.
Is that the easiest way?
It's not, I mean, it is because later on you need to know this method because later on the numbers will be bigger and it will be harder for you to do it. So, yes. Okay, so we're going to find the value of x so that the ratios 3 to 8 and x to 20 are equivalent. So that means we have to set this up first as fractions. So how would I write this as fractions?
Oh, 3.
Joaquin?
And x 20. Then you do 3 times 20 divided by 8.
So you're going to write 3 over 8 equals x over 20.
When is this one, the fourth one?
Example 4. Okay, and then I'm going to do 3 times 20 divided by 8, right?
Yes.
Which gives you what?
7.5.
7.5.
Too easy.
Whoa.
Example 5, question mark? Okay. A chef increases the amount of ingredients in a recipe to make a proportional recipe. The new recipe, which has 6 cups of black beans. The new recipe has 6 cups of black beans. Which proportions can be used to find the number x of cups of water in the new recipe? Whew, that was a mouthful. Okay, so we're trying to increase this recipe. And it says the new recipe has 6 cups of black beans. So we need to look at the soup recipe over here. How many black beans does it have in the original recipe?
1.5.
1.5 cups, right?
Yeah.
And we're trying to find how much water it goes in there. So I can make my black beans over water or water over black beans, it doesn't matter which way, equal to the new amount of black beans with the new amount of water. So which of these have the ratio of the original black beans versus water? Joaquin, which one?
It is with water. That is like C
Okay, well, it's all of them but B, currently, to answer my question. All I wanted to know was which of these proportions is comparing the black beans to water. Black beans to water is 1.5 to 2, right?
Yes.
So that one's correct, and that one's correct. So right now we can cross out B. That's not correct.
Oh.
Make sense?
Yep.
Okay, now we need to compare that with the equals to the new amount of beans. How much is the new amount of beans? 6. So going across the equal sign, you need to go from 1.5 to 6. Does this one go from 1.5 to 6?
No.
No, it goes from 1.5 to x. This one does not either. So you look here at D. This says 1.5 to 6.
Yay.
And then this is 2 to the we don't know how much water, right? So this is the ratio you need to use. Does this make sense on how I found that?
Yes, kind of.
Yeah.
Okay? When you are creating a ratio, you have to keep the types of ratio, beans to beans, water to water, on the same level. So the beans were on the numerator and the water was on the denominator. Does that make sense?
Yep.
So whenever you're making ratios, that's how you need to remember it when you're doing word problems. So now you can solve it. Cross, multiply, and divide. 2 times 6
12.
divided by 1.5.
8.
8.
All that talking. Oh, they didn't even want all that. Well, you solved it. Good job. The answer is 8, yes.
Amen.
Okay? Any questions on that?
Nope.
Do you understand how to make a word problem into comparing ratios?
Yes.
Keep the types with types. Beans with beans, water with water. Okay. Money with money, time with time. All right, go do your next set. All right, a titanosaur's heart pumped 50 gallons of blood for every 2 heartbeats. How many heartbeats does it take to pump 1,000 gallons of blood? So how would I set this up in fractions? Go for it, McDiego. Come on, give it a try. Let him try. Do it. I believe.
Don't be shy.
Just pick a fraction. Just pick a fraction. Use these numbers. Make a fraction.
Okay.
So how fast was his heart pumping originally?
250 gallons every 2 hours.
So I'm going to put 50 to 2.
I knew that.
Okay? So, or 2 to 50. Doesn't really matter. 2 to 50. It'll work either way, guys. So 2 to 50.
Divided by.
And then wherever the 50 is, if it's on the bottom, I put the 1,000 on the bottom because this is thousands of gallons. If you put it on top, it'll still work. So if I put 50 over 2, make sure you put 1,000 over 2, or x.
Yeah.
Okay, then we cross, multiply, and divide. What's 1,000 times 2?
500.
Divided by 50?
40.
1,000 times 2 is what?
2,000.
Divided by 50 would be,
40.
there we go.
40. Boo.
Okay, so it takes 40 heartbeats to pump 1,000 gallons of blood.
Yep. I got that.
Whoops. Okay, did you get that written down?
Yes. I need to know what number 4.
We are not done with the example, sir. They're showing you another method. No, I'm not telling you a table. Just kidding, we're done.
Yay.
Okay,
I understand, teacher.
good. Any questions?
No.
Yeah.
What's the answer?
17. Which is different? So we have to solve each of these.
Oh.
So you just solve each of these. 3 times 8 divided by 12 is what? 3 times 8 divided by 12. 3 times 8 divided by 12. So this is the different one. Because this is 12 times 8 divided by 3. So then the 12 times 8 divided by 3 goes here. And then the answer to the other one goes there. Well, don't do that. Okay, any questions, 7th grade? I will give you more time after this. Okay, make sure you finish all the way through to number 19 by tomorrow. All the way through number 19 by tomorrow.